Hey guys, here are some tips for the IB French B SL oral exam. I'll give you some tips here that I haven't already shared. Bonjour à tous, voici quelques astuces pour l'examen oral de BI de niveau moyenne. Et pour ça, je vais donner les astuces que j'ai pas déjà données. I'll give you some tips I haven't already shared in my previous videos. And the key with all of these is allowing you to score a 7, to score the highest band 7, which is like 96 to 100% on the oral exam. Let's get into it. Le plus important, je pense, c'est de créer une bonne impression sur le professeur. The most important thing is making a good impression on the teacher so that you can score high. You want to impress them and demonstrate a high level of understanding. So the key that I've found is use transition words whenever you're introducing new ideas. But the biggest and most important element of this is that you want to focus on complex and would say advanced transition words. These are les connecteurs logiques in French. And so what do you do for this? I'll give you my tips. You want to use transition words that end in mon, such as autrement, pareillement, également, similarement, or comparativement. So you want to use transition words that allow you to introduce another idea, but they want to end in mon because these ones typically sound more sophisticated. That's like a psychological element of it that will allow you to score higher. Secondly, instead of using just transition words, use transition phrases, which means use transition phrases that have more than one word. So instead of saying aussi, say de plus, or like de même, or de l'autre côté, or de la même manière, or d'une manière semblable. Like use phrases to transition into other ideas rather than using just one word. This allows you to show an idea that's more complex. You're using more language, and so it looks more impressive. These are like small things that are really important because you're trying to demonstrate a high understanding of the language that you're presenting in. So for the French oral exam, you need to show a good understanding of French. So avoid the basic vocabulary, which would be like aussi, ainsi, je pense que, je vois que, stuff like that. You want to use higher level vocabulary that's going to score you a higher mark. So those transition words that end in mon and then transition phrases, those are key. Secondly, deuxièmement, you want to focus on these two main areas. One, connect the photo to the theme that you've chosen. So one of the IB themes, which is partage de la planète, l'ingéniosité humaine, organisation sociale, les expériences, identité, those are the themes. You want to connect the photo to the elements of that theme. That's one. And then two, you want to connect the photo to yourself. So make sure you have a lot of personal connection vocabulary, and I'll give you some that will allow you to do this. You want to say stuff like ça me rappelle de, which means this reminds me of. You want to say stuff like aussi je peux connecter avec ça parce que, like also I can connect with this because, or instead use a good transition word like pareillement, ça se connecte avec. So pareillement means like as well, or like similarly, this connects to. So you can say pareillement, ça se connecte avec. Or you could say another phrase such as j'observe une similarité avec ça et, which means I observe a similarity with this and what this allows you to do again is compare elements of the photo to the theme and to yourself. You're showing a deep level of personal connection and an awareness of the IB theme. Those two things are going to get you a higher mark on the oral exam. Using language that is advanced in allowing you to do that is going to score you the highest mark. So be sure to do that. Et je pense que ça c'est tout. I think that's basically it. I'll give you a run through of how I would do it then and the type of language I'd use to get a 7. Let's go with that now. Like I say, dans cette photo, j'observe comment ça connecte avec l'idée de la famille. Et pour l'identité, la famille est très importante car c'est un élément de nous-mêmes et comment nous vivons dans une société. D'avoir une famille, ça signifie d'être connecté avec des autres. Et pour moi, personnellement, ça me rappelle de ma famille et comment je connecte avec mes parents, mes frères et mes sœurs. Et notre connexion ensemble et comment on partage les similarités et comment on partage une vie ensemble. You can say something like that. So to connect an idea of a photo that features a family with the theme of identity. That's the type of language I use. I'm comparing elements of the photo to the theme and to myself, and I'm using better transition words like pareillement, de plus, de même, également, autrement. You want to focus on those transition words that end in mon and transition phrases, and you also want to make a lot of connections to yourself and to the theme. Do those things and you score a 7. That's the biggest key, I'd say. If you're good at that, then just practice that over and over and you should do well. Watch my other videos on the oral exam. They'll be sure to give you better vocabulary that you can use as well. And be sure to use my IB French BSL oral exam self-study course. It's going to help you to practice describing images, how to identify the themes, what elements are in the themes, and how to connect them to the photos. Be sure to give that a check as well, and you should do pretty well. Also, if you need IB French BSL tutoring, check out my website for that. Bonne chance et au revoir.